Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. I got a little bit of a different video for you guys today, man. You guys know I normally keep about the 80s and the 90s, strictly about Michael Jordan's era and Michael Jordan, right? But I saw some nonsense on social media, and I wanted to talk about it real quick. So in this video, I want to speak about James Harden and him being better than Dwayne Wade somehow, and where I think James Harden ranks in shooting guards and things like that, guys. I want to thank you guys, as usual, for all the love, man. You guys know what to do, man. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Listen to my voice. Listen to the information, guys. And let's roll. So, yes, like I said, guys, I don't normally talk about a lot of current NBA stuff. You know, I keep it about usually the 80s and the 90s, or things that relate to the 80s and the 90s era, and Michael Jordan specifically. But I've been seeing this stuff on social media with James Harden and this guy Jeff Teague, and him ranking James Harden ahead of Dwayne Wade in his shooting guards of all time. And listen, that's his opinion, I guess, right? You know, you can have whoever ranked wherever you want to have them ranked. If you have some valid reasonings for having someone ranked, I'll listen to it. I get that. But I feel like these guys, you know, when he talks about people, he said something about when children imitating James Harden's style of play or something like that. That's not accurate. That is not accurate, man. Don't nobody want to play like James Harden, man. I don't know what playgrounds he's referring to, where he's looking or whatever, but there's nobody that wants to emulate James Harden on the basketball court. James Harden on the basketball court, to me, his game is whack. It's not creative. It's not original. Like I said, when he was doing all this, you know, quote unquote spectacular stuff on the court, right, scoring all these points and stuff, what was it off of? It was some nonsense, right? Drawing all these fouls, flopping all over the place, right? Trying to sell all these foul calls every game, shooting 15, 20 free throws a game. The game was ugly, dribbling around for 15, 17 straight seconds of the shot clock, chucking up a three-pointer, or trying to draw a foul going to the lane. To me, the game was whack. Nobody enjoyed watching that kind of scoring or that kind of game. So when he talks about, or his reasonings for him putting James Harden above Dwayne Wade on the see, this is what I'm talking about, guys. You can have an opinion, absolutely, but your opinion has to be based off the facts, man, off the accurate information. Just because it's your opinion and you want to say it's your opinion, it doesn't mean that it's still true, or that you're even coming from a place of truth or accuracy. When you say that children are imitating James Harden's game or any of this nonsense, and you compare it to a Dwayne Wade, man, get out of here, man. James Harden, number one, is nowhere the defensive player that Dwayne Wade ever was. He can't shine his shoes on the defensive end. And most of that is a lack of hustle by James Harden's part. That's why I do not personally respect James Harden, because to me, he does not give effort. He does not try consistently, right? You know, we see a lot of stuff that he does off the court. I told you, I don't get involved in that nonsense. But I told you, though, if you want to play like that off the court and you want to do those things off the court, then you better be about business on the court. And you better show up in big moments. And we all know that James Harden is the opposite of guys showing up in the big moments. If Michael Jordan is considered the most clutch performer in NBA history, James Harden is the antithesis of that. He's the complete opposite of that. He shrinks. He folds when the moment matters, right? When it matters most. He's never there for you. He's not. You know, there was a movie, Tombstone, guys, right? I don't know if you guys know movie Tombstone from the 90s, right? It was about Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and this kind of stuff, right? It was a Western, right? And there was a line towards the end of that movie where Doc Holliday is like dying and he's in the hospital, right? And Wyatt Earp goes to see him. It's like the last time that he would ever see him alive. And he's laying in the bed, and before he leaves, Wyatt Earp says to him, he's like, "Doc, thanks for always being there." Right? Because that's what he was. He was always there, Doc Holliday. No matter what the situation was, he always had Wyatt Earp's back, and he can get things done. James Harden, he's the complete opposite of that. He's not always there when you need him. He's not. Yeah, he might be there in a regular season game against one of these scrubby teams. Yeah, he might be there. He might put up 50 points, right? And dribble around, and he might make 7, 8, 9, 10 3-pointers in the game, right? And put in the show. But when you need him in the game 6 of the NBA Finals, or you need him in the game 7 of the NBA, not the NBA Finals, guys, of a Western Conference Finals, if you need him in something like that, he's not there for you. He's not, and he's proven that. Right? He's proven that time and time again. So when we talk about these rankings and we're putting players above other players, right, it's all our opinions, and I get all that. But when you make your case, you state your case for why you're putting someone above somebody else, right? If someone asks you that question, then you better give some valid, some truthful statements for that answer, man. You can't be just be saying some nonsense about kids emulating James Harden, want to play like, no one want to play like James Harden, man. Don't nobody want to dribble around. I mean, listen, maybe they do. Maybe that's the new age NBA. Maybe that's what kids want to do. They want to dribble around all the time and chuck the ball and be considered a ball hog, in my opinion, and not really having any kind of creativity, no originality, none of that stuff. You're not Steph Curry, James Harden. He never was. Like I said, James Harden to me is a guy who's underachieved, and obviously underperformed in the big moments. He's not big time. He's not clutch. He never was. He never will be. For someone, I would never rank James Harden above Dwayne Wade. For me, James Harden would be somewhere like, he might be top 10. He might be a top 10 shooting guard. He might be. But he's on the fringe to me. He's on the fringe of that top 10 because, like I said, to me, in big moments, he don't do it. And he's a one-sided player. He doesn't give any effort on the defensive end. For a guy that you would think with his build and stuff like that he would be a little bit more aggressive, have a little bit better defensive ability. But he just doesn't. He doesn't really give maximum effort, regardless. So I just don't respect James Harden. So for me, I'm not putting him over these guys. Like I've told you guys, for me, the top shooting guards in NBA history, are guys like Michael Jordan, obviously, Kobe Bryant, Jerry West, Dwayne Wade, I would put over him, absolutely. Clyde Drexler, I'm putting over James Harden, man. Get out of here, man. I mean, these are the guys off the top of my head, man, that I would put above a James Harden. As far as all-time ranking shooting guards, man. Even like a Ray Allen, I would put probably above a James Harden, man. Like I said, this is the top of my head, guys. But for people to say that James Harden is better than Dwayne, well, like I said, that's his opinion. That's great. But you got to give some facts while you're saying that. And there's really no factual reason. That's the thing here. You can have your opinion, but your opinion is based off of nothing, right? It's not based off the facts. Your opinion is based off being biased. When these guys say this thing, maybe you like James Harden's style of play better. Not a winner, though, man. Dwayne Wade was a winner. Dwayne Wade was a leader. James Harden's not a leader. He's never been a leader, never be a leader. He's not that type of guy, man, right? There's no knock on him. That's just the way he is, man. He's not a leader, man. Dwayne Wade's a leader, man. He'll take you to the promised land. He proved that. He did that. James Harden's played with all kinds of great players, played on all kinds of talent. He's had all kinds of excuses made for him. He's not a top 5 shooting guard of all time. Like I said, he might barely be a top 10 shooting guard of all time, man. If I had to break it down, I'm putting Allen Iverson probably ahead of James Harden. I just respect those guys more than a James Harden. I respect what they brought to the table. I respected Allen Iverson's scoring prowess. I respected what he was doing at his size in that era. You know what I'm saying? Putting up those points, getting knocked around. You know what I'm saying? Not sitting out and flopping around, trying to draw calls. Coming in there at like 6'0", 160 pounds and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You respected someone like an Allen Iverson, carrying the team to the finals. So, I don't know what you guys think. Like I said, I don't normally do this kind of stuff, man. But for me, James Harden's not a top 5 shooting guard of all time. For me, he might barely be a top 10. I never thought about it. I'd have to really think about it and compare him to some other players that are shooting guard position guys. But for someone to say that he's better than Dwayne Wade, then where do you have Dwayne Wade? Where's James Harden then? If Dwayne Wade's like 10th on your list and you have James Harden above him, okay, I see that. But if Dwayne Wade is like 3rd on your list or 4th on your list, that means you have James Harden where, number 3, number 4? That's crazy. James Harden, top 3 shooting guard of all time? Top 5? That's insane, in my opinion. I'll catch you guys on the next one.